Good morning. This is the Paradise Unicorn Priestess, bringing you day 74 of A Course in Miracles, the Yin translation, where we use female words. This would be March 15th if you are starting at the new year. The acceptance of your sister. How can you become increasingly aware of the Holy Spirit in you, except by her effects? You cannot see her with your eyes, nor hear her with your ears. How then can you perceive her at all? If you inspire joy and others react to you with joy, even though you are not experiencing joy yourself, there must be something in you that is capable of producing it. If it is in you and can produce joy, and if you see that it does produce joy in others, you must be dissociating it in yourself. It seems to you that the Holy Spirit does not produce joy consistently in you only because you do not consistently arouse joy in others. Their reactions to you are your evaluations of her consistency. When you are inconsistent, you will not always give rise to joy, and so you will not always recognize her consistency. What you offer to your sister, you offer to her, because she cannot go beyond your offering in her giving. This is not because she limits her giving, but simply because you have limited your receiving. The decision to receive is the decision to accept. If your sisters are part of you, will you accept them? Only they can teach you what you are, for your learning is the result of what you taught them. What you call upon in them, you call upon in yourself. And as you call upon it in them, it becomes real to you. God has but one child, knowing them all as one. Only God herself is more than they, but they are not less than she is. Would you know what this means? If what you do to my sister you do to me, and if you do everything for yourself because we are part of you, everything we do belongs to you as well. Everyone God created is part of you and shares her glory with you. Her glory belongs to her, but it is equally yours. You cannot then be less glorious than she is. God is more than you only because she created you, but not even this would she keep from you. Therefore, you can create as she did, and your dissociation will not alter this. Neither God's light nor yours is dimmed because you do not see. Remember creation whenever you recognize part of creation. Each part you remember adds to your wholeness because each part is whole. Wholeness is indivisible, but you cannot learn of your wholeness until you see it everywhere. You can know yourself only as God knows her child, for knowledge is shared with God. When you awake in her, you will know your magnitude by accepting her limitlessness as yours. But, meanwhile, you will judge it as you judge your sisters, and will accept it as you accept hers. You are not yet awake, but you can learn how to awaken. Very simply, the Holy Spirit teaches you to awaken others. As you see them waken, you will learn what waking means, and because you have chosen to waken them, their gratitude and their appreciation of what you have given them will teach you its value. They will become the witnesses to your reality as you were created witnesses to God's. Yet when the childship comes together and accepts its oneness, it will be known by its creations who witness to its reality as the child does to the mother. Miracles have no place in eternity because they are reparative. Yet while you still need healing, your miracles are the only witnesses to your reality that you can recognize. You cannot perform a miracle for yourself because miracles are a way of giving acceptance and receiving it. In time, the giving comes first, though they are simultaneous in eternity, where they cannot be separated. When you have learned they are the same, the need for time is over. Eternity is one time, its only dimension being always. This cannot mean anything to you until you remember God's open arms and finally know her open mind. Like her, you are always. in her mind and with a mind like hers. In your open mind are your creations, in perfect communication born of perfect understanding. Could you but accept one of them, you would not want anything the world has to offer. Everything else would be totally meaningless. God's meaning is incomplete without you, and you are incomplete without your creations. Accept your sister in this world and accept nothing else, for in her you will find your creations because she created them with you. You will never know that you are co-creator with God until you learn that your sister is co-creator with you. Seems to me that is a great mystery being revealed, and I do not claim to understand it, but I am fascinated. All right, lesson 74. There is no will but God's. The idea for today can be regarded as the central thought toward which all our exercises are directed. God's is the only will. When you have recognized this, you have recognized that your will is hers. The belief that conflict is possible has gone. Peace has replaced the strange idea that you are torn by conflicting goals. As an expression of the will of God, you have no goal but hers. There is great peace in today's idea. The exercises for today are directed towards finding it. The idea itself is wholly true. Therefore, it cannot give rise to illusions. Without illusions, conflict is impossible. Let us try to recognize this today and experience the peace this recognition brings. Begin the longer practice periods by repeating these thoughts several times, slowly and with firm determination to understand what they mean and to hold them in mind. There is no will but God's. I cannot be in conflict. Then spend several minutes in adding some related thoughts such as, I am at peace. Nothing can disturb me. My will is God's. My will and God's are one. God wills peace for her child. During this introductory phase, be sure to deal quickly with any conflict thoughts that may cross your mind. Tell yourself immediately, there is no will but God's. These conflict thoughts are meaningless. If there is one conflict area that seems particularly difficult to resolve, single it out for special consideration. Think about it briefly, but very specifically. Identify the particular person or persons and the situation or situations involved and tell yourself, there is no will but God's. I share it with her. My conflicts about blank cannot be real. After you have cleared your mind in this way, close your eyes and try to experience the peace to which your reality entitles you. Sink into it and feel it closing around you. There may be some temptation to mistake these attempts for withdrawal, but the difference is easily detected. If you are succeeding, you will feel a deep sense of joy and an increased alertness rather than a feeling of drowsiness and enervation. Joy characterizes peace. By this experience will you recognize that you have reached it. If you feel yourself slipping off into withdrawal, quickly repeat the idea for today and try again. Do this as often as necessary. There is definite gain in refusing to allow retreat into withdrawal, even if you do not experience the peace you seek. In the shorter periods, which should be undertaken at regular and predetermined intervals today, say to yourself, there is no will but God's. I seek her peace today. Then try to find what you are seeking. A minute or two, every half an hour, with eyes closed if possible, would be well spent on this today. And again, the idea for today is there is no will but God's. And I wish you happy practicing.